Not so much.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Under the Radar's Netrunner experience. I'm Tim, and this is the Bearded Dragon Games December. Yeah, December. We're in December. I can remember stuff. December's kit tournament. This is the Winter Kit Tournament, the Plascrete, the Weyland Identity, and the Vulcan cover-up deck boxes, as well as the Freelancer playmat. Smaller turnout for us, only wound up being 3 rounds, had 6 players. There was an SCG Open EDH tournament the same day, so we lost a couple players to that. And, you know, just the holidays are tough, getting players up here. Anyway, let's get into this game. So, on the right, we have Dan Pearson, and he is from Jupiter Games, representing Jupiter, and he is playing GRNDL. Their cool thing is they start with 10 money, but they start with a bad publicity. And on the left, representing Under the Radar Gaming, is Jake Pigeon, and he is playing Leela Patel. And her ability says, whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, you return 1 unres card to HQ. Doesn't matter where it is. I mean, as long as it's installed. If it's unresed, it goes back to your hand. So I think her ability is really strong, but we'll see how this goes. So Dan opened with installing twice and restructuring. I mean, restructuring instead of a hedge fund, pretty great. And Jake decided to dirty laundry archives, play an express delivery, grab some cards here. See what he went to go get. Sure gamble. And he's going to draw a card. So Dan installs Jackson Howard and clicks Jackson Howard twice. Hedge funds. That'll end his turn. So he's already way up in the money. So if the combo pieces are starting to get drawn here, it's gonna be pretty ugly. Leela definitely gonna need a Plascrete out if she's hoping to do anything, or getting him to res a bunch of money and landing a couple of count siphons. I see a Forged Activation Order is not a bad card to get him to blow a little bit of money, just to see what you're gonna need to go get it. If you had all the pieces, forging in front of the hand to drop in a count siphon a couple times, but I don't know if I would be going for that this early. I'd like to see the corporation spend more money. The downside is once the corp has the pieces, they can just sit there and go, I am not going to res. So one of the things that definitely needed to happen on that turn is to take the chance. You have to go get the Jackson Howard. That's got to die, because if he's keeping it on the field, you have to think that he hasn't drawn all his pieces yet. You have to go get it, trash it out, make it so that he has to sit there and churn a little bit, which allows you to start running, steal a couple points, hopefully before all the pieces get drawn, and deal with it that way, because now there's a really good chance that we have enough of the pieces in our hand, at least a Sea Source and a Scorched, I would guess. So now drawing into even one more Scorched Earth at any point is going to make it a big problem. So we're going to start the Forged, and we'll see a Enigma. This is a tough board state right now. The corporation, even though they're only 5 money up, so the Sea Source double Scorch isn't going to get you because they're not going to be able to land it. At 1 more credit, though, we will, because Leela doesn't start with a link. So at 15, 2 brings it a trace of 3. So then you spend another 7, which spends a total of 9. No, you would have been able to do it, right? 9. You go to 11. Now we definitely can. Math is hard. I'm not in the game. I'm not doing it right now.
Then I'll get 2 credits. And last action. I'll run this. Yeah. Do I get that snare?
Didn't think about what to discard here. So again, this is another problem, is leaving that Jackson Howard on the table. After the Forge went off, you were in the money that you actually could get a run or 2 there for free. You need to go get the Jackson Howard. It's got to die. Even dirty laundry archives at that point, or just running archives, would probably kick the Jackson Howard. I would rather go get the Jackson, though, because there is a chance that if mid-seasons is coming, running archives might be I'm going to let you steal some points because I'm going to, slam you on my turn, especially if it's NAPDs and stuff, making you make that choice with a successful run. I doubt GRNDL would see it, but you never know.
And I will gain 2 money.
So install and advance. There's a posted bounty. Got out to a really great start. Leela wasn't able to really shut the corporation down money-wise, so we definitely have to go get that because that can't get landed, so that's the right play there. I think possibly trying to get some points out of R&D. I don't think we're going to get enough points to win, but at this point, you might be able to steal this. So now something's going, oh, okay. Say government contracts. That makes me believe that you definitely have the combo pieces in your hand.
I will. Oh, and I get to bounce them.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go that one.
Go ahead.
All right, so that was interesting. So we're trying to bait out a 3-pointer possibly. Maybe punitives. Not punitive. Could be though. Punitive could definitely be in play here depending on what we decided to go get for. I wasn't familiar with Dan's deck entirely. I talked to him a little after the game, and I knew that he was running the Accelerated Diagnostics combo, and obviously just the Sea Sources and the Scorched Earths. However, there could potentially be punitive counter-strikes. I'm guessing that based on what we just saw, there's not any punitive counter-strikes.
Second action.
Could have been a GRNDL. It was an interesting play there. Knowing that the runner could go get that and that you wouldn't be able to retaliate with Sea Source and Scorched. So runner's in a great spot, up ahead on money. Subliminal Messaging is a great card. We're setting up to score something out of that remote server.
I will gain yet another money. I will install and I will pick them up. I'm going to install that celebrity.
So it looks like we got a legwork, a special order, a passport in the runner's hand.
This actually gets entirely negates this. Yeah, go hit that first.
I mean, that Jackson Howard had to go a long time ago. I made the mistake of that in the last tournament that I played against Dan in the final round. Whether you believe me or not, was because I was just trying to play fast, trying to have some fun, not really worrying about playing super competitively. Running the hand is, from my opinion right now, totally off limits. There's probably no points in there, as far as I'm concerned. Ice Wall will be enough to keep him out as we run that remote because of Jackson Howard. So Archives has to be the play right now while you have more money than him, because we have to try to see. Let's get those agendas back in there. Let's lay out that passport. Let's use that bad publicity to start checking the top card of R&D. Let's get that R&D interface out. We need 2 more agendas at this point unless we pull a 1-pointer. So
I did make a run, but not successful. Yep.
I'm going to take a money. No, it's fine. I forgot about that.
So the posted bounty is going to get advanced twice. So here's another play, putting the runner in a pretty bad position because it's going to cost us a lot of money to go through that server and get it, which could potentially be the money that it's going to take for us to be in the position to get Sea Source and Scorched. This probably, again, all could have been avoided from seeing Jackson Howard trashed out pretty early. So we're going to play the Zoo Keymaster. I know we have an inside job, so I think the inside job is probably coming. I would imagine that unless there's 2 barriers stacked out over there. So unless there's double barriers, we are probably going to be accessing this card. Yep. So it's going to cost 4. And 1 to break is 4.
Let's go again.
And we're going to steal that posted bounty. So the corporation going for the win. Runner still in a great spot at 4 points. Still have the money. Now at 4 points, you got to make that run on Archives.
And then I will get my 2 money back.
He can't land the Sea Source. Third action, we're going to run Archives. Jackson Howard's going to disappear.
I know you're doing. I know you know what you're doing.
Well, so far it's been a really interesting game. The corporation laid out 2 agendas with what I believed was kind of bluffing the damage kind of cushion, in that I can score this out because if you come and get it, I'm just going to scorch your face off. But with the runner at equalizing the amount of money that the corporation had, there was never a threat to be scorched. So maybe slowly dwindling the runner down, but after 2 successful runs and 4 points, runner not really slowing down. Still has the money that it's going to need. The corporation obviously with a lot more burst economy, but only 1 sure gamble and 1 dirty laundry out of the runner side. So there's definitely the ability to continue to burst up even more if we start seeing some card draw. I believe there's a corroder in the hand and maybe a mimic. Still that legwork, which in the next probably 4 or 5 turns is going to be definitely a possibility, unless we see another Jackson Howard. Katie Jones comes out, and we're going to gain a credit, and we're going to load up Katie Jones. Katie Jones is really great. They have to pretty much continue to burst down on you, so that's going to kick a card back to HQ.
I have to start scoring things to beat you. That's got to happen. Second card? I got it. Credit.
As the corporation just scores out a hostile takeover. With the card going back to HQ, I mean, you're almost in a position where accounts have it, so we're going to miss it. So the Leela trigger is missed. Would have been pretty decent. I mean, you could have checked the top card of R&D at least for last click for free. Well, for 1 money. Or no, for free now, because 1 to pump the zoo with it and 1 to break. So now Corroder's out for their 3rd action. Drawing a couple cards, playing that Corroder. And probably loading Katie Jones, I would imagine. So the runner in, I would say that the board state probably 60-40 favors the runner. If I could see hands, it would be different. So probably another posted bounty as we sit here and continue to go for it. Again, corporation just continuing to put on the pressure. It would seem to me that we're just hoping that eventually we're just going to wear them down. You're just eventually just not going to have the money. Yeah, about to waste an inside job there. That's kind of silly, since it would be more expensive to inside job than it would be to actually just run and break it. So it's going to cost us a total of 5 money. Ooh, so we used the 2 bad publicity. And we're going to access again. It's a GRNDL. So there's a play that we were looking for. We got the successful run. We baited it out. It's a tough call there. Trashing the GRNDL pretty much puts you in a this is going to hurt real bad position. So we're going to gain credits and put some money on Katie Jones. 14-9. Still teetering on the brink of, is the corporation going to have the money to do it? Not going to go for it just yet. I'm not going to land both of them. We need to land both. So again, I think the runner 60-40 still holding on to the board. They have 4 points scored. Full breaker suite. Katie Jones, I didn't get a chance to kind of mention it. I mean, most players know you can get the Katie Jones out there. You can just kind of let it tick every turn, and then when you go to make those runs, when you actually get in and it is successful, if you're close to the runner, the corporation of money, you can kind of mismath them by pulling all the money off of Katie Jones and going ahead of them in money, so that they can only beat you with a posted bounty score in a remote server, which when you have all 3 breakers, they got 2 bad publicity and you got some data sucker counters, and you got the money, posted bounty getting scored in a remote server, most likely not going to happen. So we need to get a little bit more money here, and we need to start putting the pressure on. I think maybe even just playing a legwork here to see card draw, or to see them resing ice is not a bad idea. See if we jumped anything in archives. Let's check what is on archives. See, I don't think it's worth going to get this. So first action, we're going to go run that. I don't think it's worth going and getting it. We're spending a lot of money to go see a card that, even if they score it out on their turn, absolute worst, yeah, that's going to do it. At absolute worst is going to look at you and say, I score 3 points, put something back in my hand. You can land an account siphon and put yourself in the money. So I think that that was a pretty big mistake on the runner's part. You're in control of the board state. You're getting a little greedy. Not necessary to run that and spend all that money. If they score 3 for 2, like I said, return something, try to land an account siphon, try to land a legwork. I would have liked to see what is in archives. So we'll go get archives. And if it's agenda points, we score them. If it's not, start putting pressure on HQ, because if we're discarding cards from our hand that aren't agendas, we're either not drawing anything, which we could find out by running HQ, or we could see some points, legwork, clean it out. Even legworking right now to only pull 1 agenda puts you on game point, and it means that the corporation really has to kind of try to settle in and hope that you're going to make a successful run without scoring any points, which, as any corporation, is very risky, especially in Weyland when you're running a lot of 1-pointers that are taking up a lot of deck space. Money's still 8 to 10, so the corporation's still not going to land a C source off of anything. The bad publicity keeping the runner in the game here. Snare not getting trashed, which I think is a smart play because we don't want to see it go again. So we're going to play a C source.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that I have to trash for expensive amounts of money. He's playing horizontal. That's awesome. Replication. Good. I've been managing to keep up a little bit.
So C source at trace of 9, and then a Scorched Earth. And that is going to do it. So counted, paid attention, counted the number of cards in the runner's hand, and went, oh yeah, I don't need the C source, or I don't need both Scorched Earths because he took a snare and was only able to drop to a couple cards. So I only need to be able to land that. So we're going to C source at 9. You can't pay for it because you don't have any link. And here comes the Scorched Earth, and there goes the game. And that's going to do it for game 1. So as we switch identities here, let's see what happens in game 2.
I'm going to hope this is for the next Saturday.
Of course, you hadn't run out of turn with the poster bounty. I would have got you there too. I mean, you ran when you needed to.
Yeah, see, I know anything with 2 advancements on it could be a posted bounty, so I have to run it.
Pretty much.
Whose turn is it? It's your turn. It's my turn.
That's because I took those up Jackson.
Yeah, I'm still learning how to play the back. I've played it like twice. I mean, I played Tag and Bag back in the day.
Yeah.
This is the first time I played Tag and Bag in like 9 months ago.
Nice credits, Dan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I keep looking for them for you online.
I got enough now. I don't need anymore.
You don't need.
Yeah.
I got
I have enough to put like 20 or to have my abacus plus enough for